everyone, and welcome to the RV Inspection and Care podcast and video. I'm Dwayne. I'm a certified RV inspector, and today we're going to be talking about RV recalls. How serious are they, and what should you do about them? This is information actually that every single RV owner out there should know about, and that makes this video and podcast one of the more important ones that I can share with you. It's the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or the NHTSA, that issues recalls on safety problems that are associated with RVs. And those safety issues can run the gamut from something that's not so serious all the way to something that's very severe. And unfortunately, RV recalls are common in the RV industry. There's various reasons for that. First of all, we all know that there are some manufacturers in this industry that are way too focused on high production and not enough on quality, and therefore problems happen. But also, RVs are still generally made by hand, and that means there are consistency issues that can contribute toward safety problems. And it's true that almost all manufacturers out there have experienced an RV safety recall at some time or another. One good reason for that is because most RV manufacturers out there all pull from a very small pool of RV suppliers for the components that they put in their RV. And so if those components are recalled, well, then it's going to affect a lot of manufacturers. For instance, it could be a frame that's recalled on towable RVs like travel trailers or fifth wheels. It could be a refrigerator or water heater that's being recalled. And if so, all the manufacturers with that component will be affected. But I have to say that it is true, and it's pretty clear, that the lower quality manufacturers in the RV industry are the ones that tend to have more recalls than anyone else. Now, let's talk about how recalls actually happen. And first of all, it's good to understand that manufacturers themselves can issue a recall. There are people devoted to that particular assignment with each manufacturer to determine if the products they have put out need a recall and how serious that it is. But the NHTSA can issue a recall anytime it wants without the approval of the manufacturer if they get enough complaints on problems with an RV. Now, once they issue a recall, that's published right on their website for the whole world to see. And then they're going to require the manufacturer to send letters, emails, maybe even phone calls to alert the RV dealers that are affected and the owners of those RVs that are affected. So here's what I recommend. I think you need to make sure that the manufacturer of your RV knows who you are and that you have their product. You need to make sure that you update them on who you are and where you are and how to contact you. Now, all of this is very important, especially for folks who have bought a used RV. Now, when you buy a new one, the manufacturer may be aware of all of your contact information, but that's not true on the used market. They don't even know that you own that RV. So it's a good idea to give them a call and let them know that you have that RV and give them your contact information to get a hold of you. Another thing that I recommend is to be proactive in all of this, and that is, I think it's good to just go ahead and visit NHTSA.gov and enter the vehicle identification number for your RV there. Now, you may not even know that you have a vehicle identification number, but it is there, and it's on several places in many RVs. But if you can't find it, just contact the manufacturer. They'll tell you exactly where it is. Now, when you enter that number on the website there for the NHTSA, don't panic if you see some safety recalls come up. But then on the other hand, don't treat it lightly either. Your first course of action, I think, is to contact the manufacturer, discuss the situation with them. Let me assure you that if the NHTSA has issued a recall for that RV, the manufacturer knows about it. So if you give them a call, you can discuss it with them, and they can often give you some insight on how serious the issue is and also where you can take it in your local area to get the problem resolved. Now, once they give you that information, I recommend go ahead and make the appointment to have the recall fixed as soon as you can. One of the reasons for that is that these days, any kind of repair is taking a while in many cases because there's a real shortage of qualified RV service techs in the industry. So make the appointment as soon as you can. It may take you weeks, it might take months to get the issue resolved. So get that appointment on the books. A lot will depend on the parts availability for that particular problem and how busy the repair facility is. Now, once they have finished the work, they're going to give you some paperwork to that effect. I recommend you keep that handy. Store it away, but put it somewhere where you'll remember it. And that way, if there are questions about that recall in the future, you have the paperwork to prove it was done. Yes, it's true that recalls can be a real nuisance for RV owners. They're not something we look forward to going through, but they are a necessary part of RV life. So here's what I advise everyone listening to this podcast and video to do. I advise you to go ahead and visit nhtsa.gov right away, enter your vehicle identification number, find out if safety recalls have been issued and what they recommend you to do. Then, if there are recalls, call the manufacturer, talk to them about it, get recommendations on facilities to get the problem fixed, and then make the appointment and get it done as soon as you can. But I also recommend that you make this whole process of checking on RV recalls part of your buying experience as well. So if you're going to buy another RV, especially a used one, well then get the vehicle identification number and enter it into the NHTSA website. Find out if there were recalls issued on that RV you're considering at that point, and then find out if those recalls were fixed or not. That's kind of important. It may help you to decide whether you want to go forth with that RV. If there's a long list of things that needs to be done, you could be spending more of your time with the RV in the shop than actually using it. So, I always recommend that no matter what you buy, whether it's a new or used RV, I always say you need to hire a certified RV inspector to go through it and give you a full report on it. And I still advise that at all times. But what I'm going to add to that is I think even before you get the inspector, check on the safety recalls first. And if it passes that test, then you can go ahead and call in the inspector and find out what shape that RV is in. Well, I hope that I've been able to shine a light here on a very important subject in the RV industry, a vital safety issue that affects every RV owner. And that's it for now. Have safe and happy travels, my friends. Until next time.